Hello, card fighters. I'm Cress,
And my name is Ran.
and we're going to review one of our decks, Shadow Paladin Revengers, using Raging Form Dragon as the main boss card.
Okay, for the first card, we have Revenger Raging Form Dragons, the main boss card. He's an 11,000 grade 3, and his ability, Limit Break 4. What this does is, after you attack, you may sacrifice 3 of your rear guards so that you can ride another Raging Form Dragon from your hand with an additional 10,000 damage. So, it hits your opponent again for 21,000, and it is big. And then another ability, Counterblast 1, adds additional 3,000 powers so that you can hit those 13k vanguards that we all love and hate.
Okay, next comes up this deck's Break Ride, Mordred Phantom, so its skill is Limit Break 4. When you ride a Shadow Paladin, Counterblast 1, your Vanguard gets plus 10,000 and you get the superior call a grade 2 or less Shadow Paladin from your deck in the rearguard circle. That unit also gets plus 5,000. And another skill is when it attacks Vanguard, it gets plus 2,000, useful for hitting those 13k base Vanguards.
Yes, and this skill is very useful for calling other units that can call other units that can call other units so that you can sacrifice all of those to stand up Raging Form Dragon.
Yes, this makes Shadow Paladin really consistent because you get the superior call units from the deck and you get to choose what you call, so it's really powerful and consistent.
Yes, which all of them gets eaten up by Raging Form Dragon. Okay, for next card we have the Masquerade Brothers. One of them is the grade 2 9k hitter and the other is the grade 1 7k. Both of them has additional plus 3000 when attacking if your vanguard is a Revenger.
Okay, next up, one of the cutest cards from Shadow Paladin,
And my personal favorite,
Dark Cloak Revenger Tartu. So her skill is, when she is placed in the Vanguard or Rearguard circle, you may pay Counterblast 2, you get a superior called a grade 1 or less card from your deck with Revenger in its card name and place it in the same column as Star 2.
Okay, next up we have Blaster Dark Revenger, and on the right we have Barrier Troop Revenger Dorint. Now these two cards have a very good combo in them. For Blaster Dark Revenger, when he comes into play, you can counter blast 2 and you can retire one of your opponent's front rear guard. And for Barrier Troop Revenger Dorint, if Blaster Dark Revenger is called in the same column as he is, then you can unflip one counterblast. So this basically gives Blaster Dark Revenger a counterblast 1 to retire your opponent's front rear guard circle.
Okay, so here's Dorint in the grade 1 Masquerade. Up next is Dark Revenger McClear, this deck's perfect guard. Oh wait, looks like Ran found something interesting on the way.
Yes, as you can see here, on the right side, there's a video of Urza Scarlet from Fairy Tail. She really kind of reminded me of Dark Revenger McClear. I mean, it's just a different colored armor. And yeah, it's a very awesome thing.
Actually, when I watched the series, I looked at her. Wow, she's really a great, perfect guard.
Yes, you can just see that perfect guard happening right there. Okay, well, next up, we have the last grade 1, Sacrilege Revenger Baal-berith. I don't know if that's how you pronounce that, but I don't really care. So he's a 7k booster, just counter blast 1, and he adds additional 1000 damage.
Okay, for the triggers, we run 4 heals, 8 crits, and 4 draws. And just to note, they are all Revengers, so you could sacrifice them for Raging Form Dragon. Stance would not be that effective in this deck because your rare guards will be sacrificed for Raging Form Dragon.
Okay, for our starting Vanguard, we have Frontline Revenger Claudas. Now what this guy does is, if you have a grade 3 Vanguard, you can put him into the soul, counterblast 1, and then search for Blaster Dark Revenger and put him into any rearguard circle that you have. Now I know that a lot of decks out there are running what you call that? Creeping Dark. Yeah, that's the one. Creeping Dark Goat, but I chose this one because first of all he's a 5k booster. Creeping Dark Goat's just 4. And I actually like getting Blaster Dart more than having the additional grade 3, even if you use that just to get the other raging form to ensure stand.
Yeah, and the issue with the Creeping Dark Good, he fails sometimes. That's a big problem. And the 4K base is a bit hard in early game because just guarding with a 10K shield will.
Yeah, it will almost always ensure that your attack won't hit.
Okay, some of you might wonder why we placed Dark Bond Trumpeter in our video, but we did not choose to run it in our deck. One of the reasons is because he is a 6000 base that does not go well with the 9000 rare guard because it only makes up 15,000 column, which is easily guarded by 11,000 based vanguards. And the second reason is you could only choose to call a grade 0, which is usually a trigger. So I'd rather get that card as a trigger rather than sacrifice him to Raging Form Dragon.
Okay, so some of you might be wondering why we only run 3 perfect guards in our deck, when usually you run 4. Well, the reason for that is we're waiting for the Quintet Wall to show up in BT15. When that arrives, we're just gonna change up one of the 7k boosters, Baal-berith, and then we're gonna have 4 Sentinels in our deck. So, yeah.
Okay, so I'll be leaving the list of the deck here. If you have any comments, just leave it in the comment box below.
Okay, so that's it. Thank you for watching our very first Cardfight Vanguard review. Goodbye, Internet!